Oh, hey there. Didn't see you. As you guys saw in the last episode, had the worst luck. As you saw, it was probably a smart idea to do that front cover O-ring in the car. Yesterday, before it snowed, my homie Will with the IS300, the 1J swap, we pulled the motor out. Took us like an hour and a half. Wasn't gonna film any of that. To be honest, you guys have seen me do that once. Not worth it. Now, I want to show you guys something, a few things, a few issues, and why it may have been a blessing that this had happened, because there were a lot of issues with this engine.
So first of all, shout out to Mama Pete and Papa Pete for allowing me to even stuff this in the garage. So, pull the motor out. It's just sitting here so my parents can park, because if you look, it's snowing. Clutch seems to be holding up, which is great. So issue number one, if you guys know anything about EFR turbos, you realize there's no nut here. I never tightened or preloaded the wastegate, and I was wondering why I never had boost. I was scared I blew the turbo. That should not be happening. I should not have the ability to do that by hand. So we got to get a nut and preload the turbo. Issue number two, this motor leaks like all hell. It leaks so bad from the oil pan. So we're gonna reseal the oil pan and the front cover like what we did. We're gonna replace the front cover O-ring. I also bought other gaskets like thermostat and water pump housing gasket. Gonna investigate this, see, make sure that's not leaking. Maybe investigate the clutch, but I think the clutch is fine, never gave me any issues. Turbulent studs are holding up just good. Pretty hyped about that. And another thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna insert an image of what I drew. So as you can see, I'm gonna modify the exhaust just to make it reliable. We gotta have like a flex pipe so we don't destroy, you know, the studs or the manifold or the turbo, although it's V-banded. So we're gonna have a flex pipe, and I'm gonna actually install a Racing Beat pre-silencer. It'd be nice to have this car just a little bit quieter. So that's nice. Gonna do that. And let me show you one major thing that a lot of people sleep on. I asked this on Facebook and people thought I was crazy. So if you look over here, I have a Turbo 2 Series 5 lower intake manifold. There's one, two, another two on the side. So 3, 4, 5, 6, those are 2 nuts over there. And then there's this mysterious bolt that's supposed to go here. Right here, right? So the thing about that is I've had a pretty massive vacuum leak. This is a Series 5 Turbo 2 lower intake manifold. Now, this has there's supposed to be a bolt that's supposed to go over here. I need to drill and tap the center iron for M8 by 1.25 so I can actually have the bolt secure and not have that vacuum leak anymore. Major issue, nicer that I'm just doing this while the engine is out, which is good. Aside from that, I also ordered some parts. I ordered couplers and stuff like that, so it can actually finally have an air filter on the turbo. So we're gonna get that. I'm gonna show you guys that. That's actually gonna be really cool. So I can finally have an air filter while running a clutch fan. With this turbo kit, there was no like clearance. I came up with a solution, so I'm excited to show you guys. And last thing on my list, I think we're gonna actually properly install oil catch can system. So I'm gonna finally have an oil catch can. I'm gonna show you guys how to properly do it. We're actually gonna run vacuum to the catch can and have it actually do something. So we're gonna do those things. It's a lot, but it's gonna be super easy. I'm actually gonna film all of this. And
My bad. And I think this thing's gonna be a ripper this season. It's gonna be super reliable, no more leaks, no coolant leaks, no oil leaks. just super reliable setup. And mind you, all the issues I mentioned are my fault. So a lot of people don't like to admit it. We all make mistakes. I film and document this stuff so y'all don't make these mistakes. When you're building your motor, when you're putting together your 6-port turbo, just think real quick. Oh yeah, Pete had that issue. I should probably look this over. Yeah, it happens. I've learned from other people's mistakes, and I so have learned from mine. So, still waiting on parts. I just want to preface this, start filming, editing stuff, get the ball rolling with this, and yeah, I think that's all the parts. Let me double check. Just double checked. The only thing I forgot to mention is I ordered like 2 new needle bearings, thrust washers, the whole front stack, like everything besides like the thrust plate and the spacer. I ordered all brand new ones. They're probably fine, it's just misaligned. I just ordered it for peace of mind so I don't have any issues, and I didn't know what's possibly got damaged from the 15 seconds of running this motor, like how it was running. So I just ordered new ones altogether. So when all those parts arrive, I'm gonna show you them. We're gonna put them on the car. We're gonna put them on the motor, and then I'm gonna put it back in the car. And I'm just gonna try to come up with more stuff to do while the engine's out, just for reliability's sake. I'm thinking of doing an oil pan brace. Don't know if it's worth it. Still thinking about it, but I don't think I'll really need an oil pan brace, to be honest. As long as I seal this properly, I should have no issue with oil leaking out the pan. So, yeah. Alright, we got the parts. Got a new thrust plate here for the front. Part number over here. New thrust washer. 2 new needle bearings. Part numbers are the same. New front cover O-ring. Bought 2 just in case something happens. Water pump housing gasket. Part number over there. Oil pickup tube gasket. So I never replaced that when I rebuilt it, so might as well. Part number over there. And when I did the thermostat, I just used RTV, so I got a gasket. I'll just redo that, put a gasket there. These are the parts that fix the major stuff. And also, we got an M8 by 1.25 drill and tap. So I got it from Amazon, if you're curious. Part numbers is so that way we can fix a massive vacuum leak. Still need to get a nut. And then also I ordered an oil pan brace. We need to refresh the oil pan. So let's get to putting this in the car and waiting on parts. All right, got the 13B on the ground, facing this way, as you can see. It's facing flat on the floor. Safe enough. Spilled a bunch of coolant, because there's still coolant in the motor. I'm gonna start tearing apart like the oil pan and the front cover stuff. I'm not gonna film most of it, but I'll be back. Let me just get some tools. All right, so all the oil pan bolts are off. We're going to pry the pan, if we can. All right, oil pan is out. So much for draining the frickin' thing, because there's still some oil in there. One of my concerns was that the pickup tube was loose. It was not, luckily. So we're gonna zap the pickup tube off, and then get the my LRB baffle out, and then pull the front cover off. I'm not gonna film the front cover part. You guys saw that in the last episode, so I'll do that real quick and I'll be right back. A little bit of a mess, but I'll clean that up. Alternator, crank angle sensor, water pump housing, motor mounts, belts, all off. I had to remove my oil drain. All that's off. The oil pan is of course off. And I've already found my issue. The keyway is sticking out. So I probably did not install this properly. So let's see the damage. Let me pull this off. All right, so we have discovered a major problem that might hold us back. See this front counterweight? Should just slide easily. And
mean, now it's sliding. I had a hard time getting this off. So yeah, like it's almost press fit. That's so not good. I was an idiot and didn't line the keyway up with the front counterweight. The bottom part that you see there is the actual way where the keyway is supposed to go. So it left this indent. It never went in all the way, and hence the reason why the front keyway was sticking out. Like the idiot I am. This is an S4 NA counterweight. The thing to take into consideration is I did get this assembly balanced, but I think I might have a spare if I am lucky. I have to check, but if you see, it literally did so much damage that it does not go on the E-shaft. The E-shaft itself is fine. The E-shaft survived. Everything slides in and out. The counterweight, on the other hand, took the grunt of the damage, which sucks. Oh my God. Wow. All right, I might be wrong, but this is a 12A front counterweight, and it also has those two indents. So I don't want to put the front counterweight in. Well, I can install all this stuff in and it'll probably go in fine, but I prefer to throw it in if the front counterweight can go in smoothly. So I'm going to continue to assess. So as I said, you can see the witness mark of me trying to put the keyway in the wrong way. It never lined up anyways. So I talked to Luis, the homie, and he said, just run it, but try to smoothen the inner part of this with Scotch-Brite and put the whole front stack back together. So that's what I'm gonna do. And hopefully I don't have any issues. So I'm gonna do that and pray. All right, we're into the next day. After a bunch of sandpaper and Scotch-Brite, we're making progress. Making this counterweight fit, and no, my E-shaft is not bent. I verified that, and I found a spare keyway, which is good, so let me show you. As you can see, we got the motor, sanded it a bit. I'll clean all this up. As you can see, it slides smoothly. Hell yeah. So I'm gonna continue just kind of sanding it a little bit more and cleaning up the edges so it fits good. I think it kind of deformed itself from slamming this in and all of that. So luckily I was able to save this, because if I had to replace this, the whole engine has to come apart, because if you guys know, got the whole motor balanced and whatnot, unless somebody's able to match this counterweight, but I don't think that's how it works. So I'm gonna continue sanding it down. All right, we're back. All right, I'm gonna put the front stack together, cleaned up that whole surface on the front cover. We got a thrust plate over here. As you can see, it has a contour. So this side would be facing up on the contour. Throw it in on the E-shaft. Come on, stop fighting with me. Bam, as you can see, we got that. And then next up is our spacer. This is responsible for your end plate. So we got the spacer. Throw that in over here. Probably should have linked these up a little bit, but put the spacer on there. Next up, we got our needle bearing. So needle bearing, got all, this is all brand new stuff. The only thing that's not brand new is the spacer. And then we're gonna put our thrust plate on. So as you can see, I got the thrust plate, and you just gotta line it up with the dowels. We got our 12mm bolts, so I'm just gonna put each one in loosely. And just put them all in the corners. And you wanna kinda do it in like a star-like pattern when you tighten it. So I'm just gonna be very delicate with it. And I'm gonna take this. You could use a torque wrench, but trust me, I've snapped these before. My torque wrench is kind of crappy. So 12 mil over here. And as I said, you want to make like a triangle pattern. So that's tight. That's tight. That is tight. These won't back out. That's tight. Ow! Jesus, that's tight. That's tight. That's great. Next up, we got our other needle bearing. I'm gonna put that in over here, which is great. And then we got our front counterweight. There's a little plate. It's all brand new stuff. So make sure that plate's on there. Then you want to guide your counterweight through. Like so. So as you can see, got the counterweight lined up. And now we got our keyway. Had to get another keyway because mine was bent. Super bad. It was bent really bad. And just got it through on the E-shaft. You'll feel it as it goes through. It's like fighting with me. Oh, there's like a side. Mine's always been so tight. Hopefully my E-shaft is alright. Come on. It's never this tight, but just line it up. Bam. Now the counterweight's all lined up. Keyway is in all the way. Alright, so I got the whole assembly on, pretty much. Front counterweight, needle bearing, all of that stuff is all good to go. As you can see, cleaned up the gasket surface for the front cover O-ring. I'm gonna put the oil pump and whatnot back on and buggy. So yeah, I'll include some important things to note, but as long as it's facing down, we should have no problems. All right, got the whole front cover cleaned out and washed, brought it to the car wash, and got RTV around as so. So I'm gonna have the whole front stack and the O-ring placed in with Vaseline so it goes in straight. I'm gonna put that in like I did on the last episode, torque it to spec, got the RTV seal oil pan stuff didn't come in today, so it should come in tomorrow. But yeah, gonna tie that all away, and the major component of this whole job is complete. Oh, once again, my torque wrench let me down. Here's something didn't feel right. Clean cut. All right, in the front iron of all places. Wonderful. You know what I'm gonna do? Nothing. So, putting the front pulley bolt on, the 19 mil bolt, I want to share this technique. What you can do, you can stick like a jack handle in between where the front counterweight is and essentially lock it so it doesn't spin. You can torque it to spec. So I'll show you. I feel like none of my torque wrenches are working today. I don't trust this. It definitely feels like 90 though. But yeah, I think I need to buy new torque wrenches, but it's definitely a 90. There's no way it's not. Dude, torque wrenches. I just need to buy like $400 ones at this point. That Walmart cheapo shit, garbage. Garbo. Alright. Well, the only casualty now is that front cover bolt. Those are two different torque wrenches too. One was a 3/8, the other was a 1/2 inch. Screwed me over. I'm over it and done working on this thing for the day. Alright. Jeez. Look. Alright. Woke up, I just can never sleep knowing that there's no engine in my car. And like I was like, I gotta do this right. So like as you saw, like I snapped this front cover bolt. I got spare ones because I'm just a 13B hoarder. But I luckily was able to get it out with vice grips. And it's coming out smoothly. So God decided, yo, I'm finna bless you on this fine morning, on this fine Friday morning. I want you to drive your car today. I think you earned it after the hell I put you through. Look at that. Clean cut. That sucks. And then I think this is the broken one. Here's the broken one. Damn, these John's got RTV on it. I don't even know where the broken one is. I don't even want to look at it. One of these has to be the broken one. Yeah, this is the broken one. Yeah, I think we should just glue it back together. That sucks. Whatever, I'm gonna replace it and go get a proper torque wrench. And also probably just swap the O-ring out because I don't know if I switched it. Whatever, doesn't hurt to have spares. Looks fine. Does not look pinched at all. Whatever, I'll just swap it out. Alright, just pulled the turbo off. It's leaking a tad bit of coolant because I took off the coolant lines. So I know that's working. This just came in the mail. Pre-silencer, flanges, gasket. So I'm gonna take the downpipe out of the car, go get a local fabricator to weld that up for me. Super rad, pretty excited. Took the turbo off because I'm going to start drilling around here. I'm actually gonna do it with the intake manifold so I can like pilot it in and then tap. So we're just gonna drill and tap there. So be right back. Also, forgot to mention, got the front cover on and the front pulley on, all torqued up properly. 90 foot-pounds on the main bolt, 17 on these front cover bolts. Ended up getting one of these Johns, the old school torque wrench. It was a lot more reliable than the crap I had, so yeah. Got my drill bit. Gonna use this as my pilot. And we're gonna start drilling in the center iron and making magic happen. Alright, so as you can see, got the hole pretty deep enough. Kind of felt it not doing much, so I stopped right there. Jeez, this camera. And I'm just gonna tap it now. So let's tap it, see how the threads are, M8 by 1.25, and see if we're good to go. And we got threads. Gotta clean it up, but as you can see, we got threads. Sick. All right, so got the O-rings in. Everything's all drilled and tapped. The gasket only goes in one way, so you gotta make sure all the bolt holes line up. As you can see, it's in the wrong way, so I gotta flip it around. Come on. And there you go. Gasket like so. Make sure the O-ring's there if you have turbo 2 housings, so you don't have coolant leaking. Also, I have the freeze plugs in there too, but you gotta run the O-rings because freeze plugs aren't perfect. Line up the bolt holes. I forgot one major thing is I need to find a bolt that can fit in here. This is too long and the other one I have is too short, so I need one that's this amount shorter. Wherever my finger lies. Like around there. So I gotta go to Ace Hardware and see if I can find a flanged one too that's shorter before I put the turbo back on. M8 by 1.25, 60 mil is a perfect fit. Perfect. Well, the bolt was a success. It worked just perfectly. Time to throw the turbo back on. So, yeah. All right, and just like that, turbo's on. I kid you not, it took me 5 minutes to put that on. Super easy with all the lines, except for the one that goes to the water pump housing, because I'm gonna replace the gaskets for the thermostat and that next. And I also got new studs because mine were pretty jacked up over here for the clutch fan. So do that now and then throw it on with the alternator. And I gotta take the downpipe out of the car, so gotta move it out of that snow over there, so it's gonna be fun. But looking good. And bam! Got the alternator, water pump housing, turbo, everything is all good to go the same way I pulled it. All that's left is the oil pan, which is still not here, but I'm gonna pull the downpipe out of the car, get that fabbed up. The oil pan is an easy ordeal. So, pretty amped. I'm having the time of my life doing this. Had to jack up the car from the rear. So sketchy. It's like stuck in here. Got the 2 bolts off, and I'll see what I'm saying. Why this downpipe sucks. And it's out. That sucked. A lot. This downpipe is trash. I've arrived to Will's place so Declan can weld my shit up. If you guys don't know, I wired up this car. KA, built KA. Put the good old Link ECU in there. It's running happier than ever. So, K24 built block. What turbo's in this?
GTX 3076 Gen 1.
Stock cams, built block, built bottom end.
Stock head, built block. That's it.
Link ECU, wired by yours truly.
Piecework.
And K series coils. Should be good. All our cars are gonna make it for the season, so that's good. There's a ratchet over here. Will's car. Will's been doing a lot. We got serial 9 Jesus.
We got the serial 9 roll center adjusters, extended lower control arms.
No, those are JZX ones, right?
These are like 30mm extended lower control arms. It's got JZX inner tie rods, GS300 outer tie rod.
PBM upper control arms.
Shorten the spindles like 30mm.
Yeah, yeah. And then the rear, we got
the FRS LSD in the subframe now. We got excessive poly diff bushings. I'm not touching the stock subframe bushings for now. I'm just gonna throw it back in how it is like this. Yeah, just getting ready to throw it back in right now. And maybe take a look at the tuning, figure out why the 1J doesn't turn over at the moment.
What's up, dog? 240 is out. I don't know, you guys. Declan's JZX is coming together. Yeah, but 1J was running good and then just stopped turning on. Jesus. Updates, still stock 1J, still stock whatever. Link ECU from Panic.
Yes, sir.
We put that in. You got a crash bar.
Did a little adjustable fuel pressure regulator, chase bays, power steering kit, all the good stuff. Just gotta figure out why it does not turn over at the moment. Gonna take a look at the link, maybe take a look at the timing, spark, go over all the checklists. But definitely got fuel right now. Spark plugs are clean. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out.
Word. So we split it into two. We got the flanges on. This side's gonna be questionable because it's not straight and the pre-silencer is kind of long. I don't know if we'll be able to do this. It'll be probably easier to do in the car. Oops, as you can see. So, I'll let Declan do his work. I'll look at it through my phone screen. Alright, I'm sitting in the back of a 240. Been worse. An FRS might be worse. Also, we got Will's car running, but that's for
I'm fucking so hyped.
sucks, but we're doing the fun shit. So let's see how good Paturbo Tune goes. Folks, I'm sorry for the potato quality, but I'm just gonna end this episode here. This video is pretty long. Oil pan brace did not come in today, so that's wonderful. Hopefully that didn't get lost in the mail. And I'm gonna have Declan finish up the rest of the exhaust. We had too much fun just ripping on the 240. We got Will's car running. Just focus on other things besides my own stuff. But once I get those two things done, you know, we'll put the engine back in the car and go from there. But dude, this is so annoying. I hate this camera. Thanks for watching, and I'll try to upload more now that the weather is better and the season's not trashy. So I'm gonna go excessively drink because it's Friday, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the future. If I don't, I'll probably be dead.
I live lavish, hey. I live lavish, I live lavish. Caught a lift, finna pull up with a bad bitch. She's so attractive. I don't fuck with ratchets. Smoking dope, watch me blow away the ashes. Gotta be careful, can't get nothing on my fabric. Oh, that's your bitch. I can't tell by how she acting.